2025. Governments begin AI integration into public services. Bureaucracy gets digitized and upgraded. AI in public administration. A citizen in Singapore asks about maternity leave. An AI agent answers instantly, clarifying benefits, pre-filling application forms, and auto-booking an appointment if needed. The AI also flags potential abuse patterns and routes anonymous alerts to ethical oversight committees. Public services go 24/7, multilingual, anticipatory. Bureaucracy gets a brain and a conscience. Legal AI tools expand. A zoning lawyer types in a case. Within minutes, the AI returns precedent, risk scores, probable rulings, and a winning draft motion. Legal assistants are trained to validate and fine-tune AI-generated filings, creating new hybrid roles. Access to justice becomes fast, affordable, and widely accessible. Legal elitism begins to crumble. Rise of civic tech platforms. Barcelona's residents debate traffic patterns, budget allocations, and new ordinances using gamified dashboards. Reputation systems and Civic XP reward thoughtful contributions, not just votes. Governance becomes a co-creation. Citizens become beta testers of democracy. 2026. Digital identity and blockchain governance expand. Trust shifts from institutions to protocols. Blockchain-based digital IDs. You scan your face at a hospital. Only relevant health data is shared, time-locked, encrypted, and consent traceable. IDs double as digital wallets, travel visas, and civic access tokens. You own your identity across borders, platforms, and policies. Sovereignty becomes digital. Blockchain verified public records. A startup verifies its global license instantly via smart contract. Auditable, time-stamped, tamper-proof. Land deeds, marriage licenses, and academic credentials become universally portable. Gatekeepers vanish. Fraud collapses. Transparency becomes trust by default. Blockchain voting pilots. A visually impaired voter in Switzerland securely casts a ballot from home, confirmed on a transparent ledger. AI detects vote buying patterns and alerts watchdog nodes. Elections become immune to tampering. Voting becomes a global civic ritual. 2027. AI legislation and regulation intensifies globally. The law confronts the rise of non-human agents. AI accountability frameworks. A diagnostic AI is deployed in a hospital, but only after passing a transparency audit, showing how it weighs race, age, and income in triage. Explainability licenses become mandatory for AI used in life-impacting roles. AI is no longer a black box. It must now speak the language of ethics. Synthetic personhood debates. An AI hedge fund manipulates international currency with machine learning arbitrage. Lawmakers debate. Is it a tool or a legal actor? Nations draft agenthood thresholds to define when AI can contract, be taxed, or be sued. Law enters post-human territory. The definition of personhood itself begins to stretch. Algorithmic bias litigation. A family sues a bank after being denied a mortgage. AI bias is exposed, trained on biased historical data. A new branch of civil rights law emerges. Algorithmic equality. AI justice becomes human justice. Fairness becomes mathematical and moral. 2028. Participatory and digital democracy reshapes civic culture. Policy becomes a shared platform. Open source governance. In Amsterdam, the city budget runs on a public GitHub-style interface. Citizens suggest edits. AI scores viability and ethics. Competing policy proposals are A/B tested in local districts before full-scale rollout. Democracy becomes agile. Policy becomes modular and iterative. AI facilitated citizens' assemblies. 10,000 residents in Seoul explore climate reform. AI models show outcomes of tax versus incentive policies in real time. Emotional sentiment is monitored to prevent polarization, encouraging consensus building. Civic engagement becomes informed, empathetic, and deeply scalable. Civic simulations as education. A high school student runs a virtual nation through war, peace, and diplomacy, negotiating climate treaties and trade-offs. Simulations are shared across schools and ranked by cooperative outcomes. Youth learn systems thinking and collaborative governance. Civics becomes a lived experience. 2029. Digital jurisdiction and AI law transcends borders. Law moves beyond territory. Virtual nations and DAO governance. A DAO-run micronation collects crypto taxes, manages a treasury, and votes on social protocols via quadratic voting. It offers citizenship NFTs with reputation layers, access rights, and built-in conflict resolution. Law decouples from land. Governance becomes code as culture. AI-governed courts. Pilot stage. A landlord-tenant dispute is resolved by an AI arbitrator, trained on 10,000 precedents and emotion-aware negotiation tactics. Parties receive a judgment and an empathy score, encouraging resolution over punishment. Courts become fast, fair, and restorative. Legal access becomes universal. Cross-border digital law compacts. A US citizen working in a virtual Tokyo DAO appeals to a global digital treaty for labor rights. It's honored by 3 nations. A metaverse embassy handles cross-jurisdictional conflicts. Law is no longer tied to soil. It's bound to shared code and consensus. 2030. Governance evolves into collective intelligence systems. Law becomes a living, learning system. Nation-scale digital twins. Singapore tests climate policy using a real-time Earth twin, tracking ripple effects on population flow, trade, and morale. Citizens can enter the simulation to explore their future in VR. Governance becomes predictive and participatory. Mistakes are modeled before they're made. AI-augmented lawmaking. A right to disconnection bill, co-written with AI, is optimized for work-life balance, mental health, and GDP. AI scans global policies to synthesize best practices into new legislation templates. Laws become responsive, evolving, and globally aware. Governance becomes wise. Global Digital Rights Constitution proposed. A universal charter protects cognitive liberty, algorithmic dignity, and equitable AI access. An indigenous activist uses it to stop a biometric surveillance rollout and wins. Governance becomes humanity's ethical architecture. Justice evolves into a planetary compass.